Hey guys, so today we're going to talk about the 3 keys to becoming prolific. Hi guys, my name is Steve Collin for thesecrets2musicsuccess.com, and today we're going to talk about the 3 keys that I really think that you need to know. These are the 3 steps or the 3 things you really have to know if you want to become prolific. And so let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, number 1, there is no perfect. Remember that. And because if you think about it, like in nature, I always come back to nature because, I love that. I'm an outdoors person. I love being outside. So if you think about a tree, what is a perfect tree? My version of a perfect tree is different to your version of a perfect tree. Maybe I want one with more like, maybe it's been through the weather. Maybe it's been through hurricanes. It's got some twists and turns. It's got some character, and it's got the grain is kind of going a different way. And maybe your perfection is a totally different one. Maybe you like it straight with no curves. Maybe it's just straight and the perfect limbs coming out. But there is no perfect. So it's more of an opinion. So that's the one thing that you got to make sure that you know, that there is no perfect. So you just want to take perfection out of your vocabulary. It's an opinion. It's my perfect is different to your perfect. And so therefore, when we're trying to write songs or craft songs or tracks or music for, if we've got that goal, it's got to be perfect. It's got to be perfect. Well, you're chasing something that even if you get it to that level where you think it is perfect, it's maybe not even what they want. Maybe it's not what the other person wants. So you've got to take perfect out of your vocabulary. There's a really cool quote that I was just looking up just before, and it says, "Perfection is not attainable, but if we chase perfection, we can catch excellence." And I think that's pretty cool. That's a really, really cool quote. So I really like that, and it's just absolutely so true. So I remember, here's a little story. I remember when I was, I bought this program called Omnisphere, and you might have heard of it. It's a great program by Spectrophonics, I think it is. Anyway, so I've got this program, Omnisphere, and it's very heavy in detail. There's so many things you can change. There's just, you can tweak and tweak and tweak. There's just endless possibilities. So anyway, I bought it, started playing with it. About 45 minutes later, or about 30 minutes later, like, okay, that's cool. That was fun. There's some different sounds, but I recorded stuff. I was putting things down. I was recording little parts, little pads, and it happened to be around Halloween time. So I was finding all these spooky sounds and all that kind of stuff. And it's really funny because, I was putting things here and putting things there. And because I also knew how to button up the track, and because I knew what the publishers wanted, I just buttoned it up and, wrapped it all up, mixed it, and bounced it down in about 45 minutes. And then sent it off to my publisher. And it's so funny. About a year, totally forgot about it. About a year and a half later, I get an email saying, "Hey, your track," I can't even remember the name, the Halloween track or whatever. It just got placed, or it just got picked. Here's a I won't tell you the amount, but it's a 4-figure check. Here's a 4-figure check for you for that track. And it was used in a Nokia Batman commercial, and it was hilarious because it only took me 45 minutes to complete that thing, and I was only playing around, but I was not thinking, okay, this has to be the perfect track. Perfect was like a million miles away. I was just having fun, totally just having fun. And because I knew how to button it up, I will say that because I knew the steps that you got to take in order to button up that song and send it to a publisher, actually, and if you want to know those steps, head over to, I'll put a link down below, but you can find out. I'm running a course called How to Get Your Music Signed to a Publisher, and you can check that out and find out all those details, how to button up your song, how to get the tracks that they want, how to upload, and how to submit to your publishers. But because I knew that, I was able to just send it off, and I got a placement, and that paid for Omnisphere over and over. So it was a really, really cool thing. But I knew that there was no perfect. I buttoned that song off and I sent it to my publisher, and I knew that it wasn't this perfect thing, but I was okay with that because guess what? There's no perfect. So that's a cool little thing. Just remember, there is no perfection. Number 2, you gotta set goals and have deadlines. Now, one of the things that I've used to set goals, because goals are hard, or deadlines are. How do you kind of set up your own deadline? Do you say, all right, you look in the mirror and say, all right, Steve, it's Monday morning. By Friday, you have to have this track done, That's kind of hard, and especially at first, that's kind of hard to do that. So what I knew I needed collaborations. I needed another person that I was actually accountable to. So I collaborated a lot. I was like, I'd talk to my collaborator, and we'd say, okay, well, I will send you something by tomorrow. And then guess what? I was a man of my word. I was going to do it by tomorrow and send it to him. And so I sent it to him, and then he would say, okay, cool, I'll get it back to you by the end of the week, or whatever it was. He gets back to you, and then it's like, okay, well, I should be able to do the vocals today, and I should get it to you tomorrow. So you got these deadlines and these goals. You're setting these little things. And the more times you do that, and the more you're kind of accountable to somebody else, the less you get into that habit where you're like, I don't need that person anymore. Now I know I can do it. I can do it on my own. I can set my goals. But goals and having those deadlines is absolutely so important for being prolific, because if you don't have those goals, you'll just tinker away and tweak away and just you won't have that deadline where you're like, I got to get that song done. If I'm like, I got to get 5 songs done a week, if that's my goal, guess what? If I only get 2, I know I'm short. If I get 10, that's crazy. But if you're not crazy for some people, but depending what genre it is, doing 10 would be crazy for me. So if I was to do like 10, then if my goal was 5, I know that I'm doing well. I'm preparing for the next ones, or I can have an easier week next week, or So having those goals and the deadlines is paramount. You've got to have that to be prolific. I remember not too long ago, one of my publishers contacted me and said, "Hey, we need this kind of song, or this kind of I think it was an instrumental track. We need this kind of instrumental track for a new TV show airing. Blah blah blah. We need it on Sunday night." And so I had the deadline, and I think I started on Thursday or something like that. So I recorded the song, got it all mixed, and everything was fine by it was due by Sunday evening, and everything was pretty much done Saturday night. I just wanted one more night since I had it, one more sleep on it, just to give it another little mix, another little tweak. I tweaked it on Sunday morning, and it was good. Great, it's ready to go. And I thought to myself, great, I'll have one more listen and send it off on Sunday night, and I totally forgot. So this is Sunday night. I'm lying in bed, and it must be about 11 o'clock, 11:30 or something like that. And I'm like, all of a sudden I remembered I hadn't sent it, and I'm like, oh no! And I remember lying in bed and just thinking about it for a few minutes, just thinking, would it matter if I sent it on Monday morning? Would that matter? I know he needed it Sunday night, and I said that I would send it Sunday night. Would it really matter? But it did matter, and it does matter. And so I got out of bed, went to the studio, and I sent him that track. And then I was like, good, you sent it. You said you'd send it on Sunday night. You sent it on Sunday night. You're a man of your word. You met that deadline. And those are so key elements to being prolific, meeting your deadlines and doing that. So awesome. Number 1, there is no perfect. Number 2, set goals and deadlines. Number 3 is remember that your best is yet to be written. And this is such an understatement. Now, a lot of the times you think that this is the song, and you get so caught in that moment of like, I got to get this song. This is the one. This is it. But just keep remembering, and it lets the stress off your, the pressure off your back. You're like, the next one's probably going to be the best song I've ever written. The next one, and you just keep going, and you just keep getting better, and it's just like practice. Now, you've heard of the 10,000 hour rule, right? So it's just the same. You've got to build up those hours. If you haven't done your 10,000 hours, then how can you can't really be too strict on yourself where you're like, come on, you got to be like, you've done your, if you haven't done your 10,000 hours, that's your goal. Get your hours up. Become an expert in that field. Here's a couple of things for an airline pilot to get his license. I think he needs 250 hours, but then to get his commercial license to fly for the big commercials, he's got to get 1,500 hours under his belt before he can actually get paid to fly. And so, and a lot of the times you might have heard this, and maybe you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you need 40,000 hours to kind of even get a job flying for United or one of those big airlines. You need like 40,000 hours. And so we're talking about 10,000. Now they're asking and requiring 40,000. And so it's just something you've got to put the time in. And another one for this is a little quote thing from Becoming a Brain Surgeon. If that's your goal, check out how many hours and time that they're gonna have to spend. Brain surgeons require no less than 4 years of undergraduate studies, 4 years of medical school, and 5 to 7 years of fellowship training. So what's that? We got 5, 4, and a 4. So that's 8 and 5. We've got like, is that 13 years of training. Now, and they haven't even started to be like, to do their breakthrough maybe research or breakthrough clients. And it's the same for us. We've got to put the time in, and our next song is going to be the best one. The next one's going to be even better. But remember that if you remember the first point, there's no perfect. Then remember that, then you just keep going and you keep learning, you keep growing, you keep tweaking one thing, you keep getting better and get better, and your songs get better, and it just compounds. As an example, one of the things that I've had is my licenses and my placements when I first started were far and few between, and they were paying little amounts. They were less amounts, getting little bits of money. And it was like, now it doubles, it compounds. It's like, now your stuff is getting better. You're getting into better libraries. You're getting into better publishing. People want to require your music more. But guess what? It started by me putting in my hours by, let's do that track. Let's button it up, send it off. Let's do another one. Button it up, send it off. Let's do another one. Button it up, send it off. And you just get better and better and better. And then by the time you put in your 10,000 hours, by the time I'd put in, 1,500 hours, I was getting paid. It's very similar to a pilot's license. So hopefully that helps, guys. So again, our 3 points are: there's no perfect. Number 2 is set goals and deadlines. And number 3 is your best is yet to be written. So if you remember those 3 keys, I promise you'll be so much more prolific. Write them down on your desktop, put them on a sticky. Just remember those things. If you want to be more prolific, those are 3 awesome keys that I use all the time to get all my hundreds of placements, thousands of placements that I've got. And so try these ones out, and I know it'll really help. So also I want to make sure that you know that if you head over to my website at thesecretstomusicsuccess.com, you can download a free PDF on mixing tips and songwriting tips for the pop world, and download that stuff, check it out, stuff there. I run a course there, called How to Get Your Music Signed to a Publisher, and I've got some mentorship programs there, because I personally would love to help you reach your dream, because there's so many avenues, or there's so many lanes, or there's so many niches to find your path. Like, my path is different to so many different people that I've talked to, but I want to help you find your path so that you can be success. Because at the end of the day, how cool is it when you're having fun doing the stuff you want to do, and it's your lane, and you're getting paid for it, and you're quitting your day job, and you're like doing it. So awesome, guys. Well, I will see you in the chat.